I have no clue what's going on in the world. But I will tell you this, on MTG Arena, the lack of bannings of Tibalt Trickery in Standard or Historic. This is MTG Standard. If you're watching this on the replay, I recommend that if you want to look at the deck, look at this. If not, fast forward. That's a 90s kids thing, so fast forward, rewind. Okay. All right, so basically, what we're trying to do here, if it looks like we threw a bunch of crap together, you were absolutely correct. But there's a lot of white weenie, and the reason why there's white weenie and there's red rush right now, I'll tell you why. It's because you have to kill Sultai by turn 6 before they can get out, the Emergent ultimatum, right? Before they get this big puppy out. Emergent ultimatum. This thing. And then they do the horror vorinclex combo and then just kill you. Yeah. So that's the reason why. So we saw the same thing with Wilderness Reclamation earlier, not too long ago in Standard, where people built this fast white weenie deck and they built Red Rush to try to kill your opponent by turn 6, because if not, Wilderness Reclamation was going to kill you. Well, it's the same thing now. It's the same thing, except just it's Sultai. Okay, great. So now that we understand that and how to beat white weenie, but you got to be able to beat those decks, and in order to do that,
but to beat a man, you got to beat the man, and I'm saying,
woo! White weenie. That is white weenie, right now. They're like, I'm Ric Flair in this, and I don't care. Anyway, guys, also, too, if you want to check out another content creator, just seeing a couple of their videos, going underneath some hard times, but also I think they're good for the Magic the Gathering community. You can go check them out. It's called The Magic Historian. You can go and check them out. They don't even know that I'm even saying this, but go ahead and do that. They kind of do like lore stuff. They're the opposite of me, the complete opposite. I'm more in your face, but you can go ahead and check them out. Again, you can go ahead and do that. I don't really know the person too much, but here we go. So anyway, with this deck, we're trying to self-mill, but at the same time, we're trying to control our opponent. So from the outskirts, it looks kind of weird what we're trying to do, but we are trying to, you have Mire Titans right here, so those mill. And believe it or not, when you look at this deck, so let's kind of like look at this deck in like some type of order here. Okay, so we have a lot of removal, so let's move. And it's just going to shift that over. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. All right, so let's get this party in the right direction. I hope you're having a good day. Unfortunately, grad school has me staying up till 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I sleep the entire day, then get up and, yeah. Okay, so we have Storm's Wrath. Deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. We have Archron War. Just take their crap and then kill their creatures. And then we just Extinction Event. Versus White Weenie, you want Extinction Event because you want to exile the crap. All right, they have some stuff that's indestructible, and exile does not survive indestructible. Cool, or you just take their stuff. We also have some more removal right here with Binding the Old Gods, and also it's a ramp for its 2, search your library for a forest card, and a forest can be a triome. These are actually forests. If you don't recognize that, you can actually fetch for these. You can actually use modern fetch lands to fetch these. The reason why you can't with Fabled Passage is because Fabled Passage says basic land. These are not basics, but they are indeed forest island, like in this case. Okay, so that makes this pretty good. Then we look at our ramp, and we have 4 cultivates. Let's move this over here. And I'll have to re-get that card. And we have this right here. So not bad. Let me go get back Nissa that I just tapped on. And let's put her back. Okay. Okay, now we're back in business. All right. So a little bit of ramp here. Not bad. Okay, so now you're looking at this and you don't think we have many creatures, but we do. We have 17 creatures. So a nice balance, 17 creatures, 18 non-creatures. So it's like an even balance. If this was a football game and you're saying, do you want a nice run and pass? That's what we're doing. We have a good ground game and a good pass game, okay? For all those that follow football, if you don't, then forget it. All right, so anyway, we have Valki, God of Lies with Tibalt. We can actually hard cast this guy. There's no free casting in this deck. And it's nice to actually play Magic the Gathering like where you tap mana and cast stuff without free casting. Sweet, it's awesome. It's a great feeling. But we can actually hard cast him in this deck because we can ramp. But most of the time we're using him for his Volkai, for his creature thing. We have Kroxa, so we were able to remove things from their hand. Don't sleep on a Kroxa. Euro Titan banned, I understand that, but Kroxa is a darn good card. Used in Radkos in Standard, is a staple in Historic for a reason. Very good card. How about God of Death? That sounds like a card that we want to be playing with, not up against. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But anyway, it's a 6/6 for 3 mana. Kroxa's a 6/6 for 4 when you escape it. And it can also have Throne of Death on the side of that. I'm sure you're all familiar with that part. We have Pokronos Unchained. It's a 6/6 for 4 mana. If you escape it, it's a 12/12. So notice we're getting a lot of value for cheap, right? A lot of big things. And then we have Mire Titan. You mill yourself, and then right here, you mill yourself, and you can create a 2/2 creature. And then we also have Nissa of Shadow buffs. And really, I really wish she had more ability at the -5 spot. So as -5 states, you can put a creature card with converted mana cost or less than to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield. So if you have like 7 land, you can grab something with 7 or less converted mana cost. That's a creature and put it on the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. I really wish it would say sorcery, creature or sorcery. Because I think more people would play with this card and it would actually get like more credibility. So I think those are things that realistically I wish that had on here. But nonetheless, you can produce a 3/3 land creature and also revive a creature that has died. So that has a good ability. But I want to address the sideboard before we keep on going. We have 4 agonizing remorses. And again, target creature, God. Just go after your opponent's hand with this, duress, destiny spinner, your creatures and enchantments cannot be countered. Kroxa as an additional hand removal. Necromentia, you can search somebody's graveyard, hand, a library, and exile a particular card. And then we have Toski, Bear of Secrets, a Kaldheim card. Indestructible, it cannot be countered. And then whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Does that make sense? It's all coming together. Okay. Okay, so we're going to enter the gameplay. I originally had Garuda in this deck. But yeah. We're going to go play. Sweet. All right, so we're on the play. Lurrus of the Dream Den. So, what are we up against? Rogues. Okay, not a sexy starting hand, but we'll keep it. Nothing great about this one. I like to throw out my basics first with the pathways before I decide what I got to do. But, it could be a white weenie. It could be, okay. It is. It's the white wiener. Okay. Oh, just a bunch of land. So, what was it? All clumped? Like 10 mana? Just clumped together. The top of the deck. Oh, God. Sure, why not? Is he going to give it some type of... Okay. It served its purpose. Okay, so immediately right there tells us we want to go red. Yeah. All right, so good gosh, it'd be great to get a red mana, wouldn't it? We could just wrath the board. Shuffler has not been kind. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. The good old Archon of War. Oh, okay, so Storm's Wrath, you can see where it has its power, but you also need to get its mana. Sometimes in a triple color deck, it's hard to get double of a color. But we do indeed have the pathways, so... Opponent got a little lucky there. A little bit lucky. Let's see here. What do we got to do here? Throw in a block. Sure. Is he going to give it indestructible? That's the question. What is he going to do as the white weenie turns? It'd be like a drama show. Just give me a red. Oh, God. Bum 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 bum. Alright, let's see here. Let's block the... Well, they're all gonna deal damage to themselves, so let's not block it. So we get the white weenie deck first. Okay. Gives the indestructible. I got it. We really could have used red. Could have wiped the board. We're gonna have to default pass. See. So you got lucky we didn't get the double red, because we would have just wiped that board. Alright. So we're definitely going to fight that, the first striker. So, what do we want to fight? Let's... Before he puts something on the counter. Yeah, he's got to think about that in response. So, just a flyer. So let's see. Flying for a strike. Okay. So we do hold off his attacks a little bit. And again, we're set up pretty good. Okay, extinction event. That's really good. Alright, so let's see here. Even, odd. Let's call odd. Or even, right? Hold on. That Lurrus is in his hand, right? But see, we might be able to get a land and get Volkai on the battlefield. Do we trust a shuffler? Probably not. Let me take Volkai out of his hand. Let me take this Lurrus out of his hand. It's not in his hand? Okay. It's still... Okay, so they had it lined up like it was in his hand. Okay. That makes a big difference. So, I don't know. They shouldn't put Lurrus or any companion in the middle of their hand if it's not in their hand. It should be off to the side. That's why there's a zone that they're supposed to be in. A separate zone from their hand. So... whatevs. Alright, so we'll fetch for our red. Gonna have to do this the hard way. Alright, we'll bring him out. He can survive the board wipes. Our creatures are big enough. We'll get the Lurrus out of his hand either way. One way or the other. And then we'll just wrath the board. Since we know that we're going to wrath the board, we're just going to attack. And he'll just take 2. Kind of cool. Move on to the next turn. Alright. So, let's see here. Is it even worth to wrath at this point? Well, let's actually, before we make a decision, draw a card. That's what's good about this too. You can exile a creature card and draw a card. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna hit us for 1. I don't think I board wipe yet. Not quite. I do have to get in there for damage, though, eventually. Not yet. He'll make a 1/1. Got it. He'll probably drop down another creature, and then we'll wipe it. Then hopefully we'll mill into something, or we'll draw into something. Yep. So we're going to block this with Volkai, and then we're going to take 3. Yep. We'll be down to 4. Yeah. All he has to do is just hit the attack button. Actually, he could give this protection from black and bring me down to 1. He can pop this, give this protection from black, and get us down to 1. That's probably what he's thinking. Or that's what I'm thinking my opponent should do. You're white weenie. You're supposed to attack. There you go. Alright, we'll pass the blockers. I'll block the big dude. Yep. 4-10. And this is actually a good comeback for us because we could have board wiped a long time ago. Ooh. But he got 2 of these now. Okay. So, let's play the swamp. We technically can still board wipe for 4. So, let's draw a card. This card, it's really good. Okay, so we get a triome. Alright, so we are going to board wipe. We're going to do that thing that gets rid of creatures. Oh, he's going to be down to 1. Four to 1. Dun dun dun. Why is it so suspenseful? Alright, it's 4 to 1. Don't have an enchantment that does something. Okay. Makes that a 4-3. Got that. We beat the white weenie. But that was just game 1. It felt like 3 games. Alright. So our sideboard's really meant for like a lot of removal. Duresses, agnozing, remorse, necromentia. So versus Sultai, basically blue-red control. We have Destiny Spinners. Creatures and enchantments you control can't be countered. This cannot be countered, and whenever a creature deals damage to a player, draw a card. And we have Kroxa. So we're playing versus white weenie. I mean, I think we'll just keep what we have. Alright, we'll keep it. Alright, so we're going to lead off with a triome. We do need black. Alright. We're sitting on 2 extinction events, so not bad. We did get that black source. We could Kroxa their hands. Yeah, let's do that. They only have 3 cards. Let's start the flex. That was a very good removal of Giant Killer, because all of our crap is big. Brings Duress back. Ooh, here's Nissa. Alright, so... let's go fetch. Let's go black, red. Yeah, some people don't play Jund with 3 mana, or excuse me, with cultivates, but it so helps to fix stuff. Like, it really does. It makes the deck so much more efficient, so much easier. Because you don't know if you're going to get an extinction event, or, like we saw last game, like a double red board wipe. So, hopefully he casts Lyris. That would be great, because then we would just exile everything. But he elects to not do that. Which makes it difficult. Alright, so somehow we have to bait him into getting creatures out. Like, we have to, like, really just bait him. So let me drop this. Okay. You know, make him go, hey, he's got a board state. We need to bait him to bring out stuff so we can exile everything. So you can bring a creature card from your graveyard back to the battlefield. But we really just need to bait him into bringing stuff out. Because he's only got 4 cards in his hand. Alright, interesting choice to only attack with that. So I'll double block. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'll double block. Whatever he has in his hand, let's just get rid of it. Nothing. Let's those die. Okay, so we got the bait. He's gonna cast that out. Okay, we baited it. Okay, good. See, this will mill. We'll get another creature. So we get a blocker. We'll get rid of this. We baited him. Oops, now he realizes that part. Whoops. It's not going to stop it. Odd. So now we have a blocker for that. So I'm not saying this wins pretty. I'm not saying this deck wins pretty. Yeah, and so we knew he was going to attack with that. Yeah, and we block it. We're not taking damage here. And I'm sure he's got another creature. Let's be honest. So he's like, which one do I cast? And it's Life's Bounty. And this is a crew. Alright. So it's just the 3/3. So we got a lot of options here. A lot. We can bring... well, let's bring him out as a 12/12. Actually, I'd rather get rid of Volkai. Right? Bring him out as a 12/12. Make him strong. You can pay 3, fight another creature, so he's kind of perfect. And then, depending upon what he does, my rationale is I'm thinking he's going to crew this, or he's going to crew this, get a 3/3, put these on board, and then give this protection from, say, black, and then swing in, and this can't block it. I'm thinking he's thinking something like that, or making this a land here, and doing that. If he's not going to do it this turn, I think he's trying to set up next turn. So it's very important that we realize that immediately. So when you're playing versus your opponents, you have to think like them and say, well, what could they do? So that is an option that he can do. So this looks like I'm wasting well, put it this way. Yeah, I don't like that. If he doesn't see it, then I do, and I just don't like that. I don't we're at 7 life. I just don't like it. Okay. So now let's go ahead and drop this. We're not going to attack with this yet. We have to get more board state. He can make this into a creature, and yeah, he can load a creature up. So kind of playing a little defense. Okay. Well, that makes life a little easier. Let's drop Nissa. Make that a 3/3. It's got menace.
We will protect my home.
Now, understand we're playing very cautious, but at the same time, we're establishing a board state so that we can swing on our opponent and not worry about anything coming back at us. Okay. So, boom. Beat blue-white control. Beat the deck. So, in order to beat White Weenie...
But to beat a man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo!
Alright, so that's White Weenie. Alright, so that's pretty cool. What we sought the fight, we got our first match. And the cool thing is we didn't even have the sideboard. We didn't even have the sideboard for that one. That's the cool part. Yeah, in playtesting we handled Esper control very well. We were 2-0 versus that. Red Rush, we were 3-1. Unfortunately, versus Sultai, we were 0-1. Hey, Dark, how's it going? Pretty good, man. How you been? We got a Mire Titron, a Cultivate. Is this a good deck? Oh, he's playing Sultai. Great. So we beat White Weenie, and now we're on the Sultai. Well, this will definitely go to a game 3. All right. He probably thinks we're Sultai as well, or rogues. Let's just see what he has in his hand. Emergent ultimatum. Let's guess. Over under, he's got the Emergent ultimatum. Extinction event, eliminate, Shadow's verdict. I just built this deck as Jund. I just call it mid-range control. There's really no thing for this. There's no thing for it's just I just said what can deal with White Weenie and maybe take on like Sultai, right? If you see the sideboard, we have 4 agonizing remorses, 3 duresses, 2 necromentias. Our main board we got Kroxas, so I just said what could deal with all the stuff, all the crap. So we self-mill, but we also do other stuff. Look at Volkai. Like, he's so pathetic as a creature. He's got removal, and he doesn't even want to waste 1 removal spell on Volkai. Like, that's how pathetic. Cool. So then we're going to bring this out. I didn't want to cast this first, and then him just sit back and do a Shadow's Verdict or an Extinction event. Alright. I'm not going to lie, our hand sucks. We got 4 lands. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, let's see here. We got Pokronos Unchained. So, again, we're going to do the same crap. Let's see. So, let's cast a mana that he can already see. See, if we cast Pokronos Unchained, he's just going to Extinction event. And that's going to take that and that away from us. So, we got to try to catch him with his pants down. Or him being tapped out, basically. Nope. And the two little banger continues. He's got to eventually get rid of it. Like, he just... Well, no, he doesn't. He just played Emergent Ultimatum. So, we're trying to, like, get him to, like, get rid of one of these, right? So I can actually, like, cast this. We want him to get rid of this right here. Actually, I should just drop it make him use it, and then we'll just drop the other one. But first, we got to slide up in there for 2. Slide right up in there. Okay, now we're going to drop it. Okay, again, this is all just to bait the crap out of his hand. It's all we're trying to do. Just like versus White Weenie, right? We baited them to drop all the wieners, and then we just wept the board. So we're baiting him now to wipe us. We're not dropping this. We're just going to bait him to force him to use his extinction event. Or cycle for an emergent ultimate. Cast it. Do it. Do it. Yes. Okay. And so this doesn't go into the graveyard. We're going to fight this. And so this goes into the graveyard. It doesn't get exiled. Yes. Okay. So then we're going to come out, lead off with this. Drop down another Kronos Unchained. Whoopsies. Alright. And we're just going to be... do I want to bring this out? No, let's do this. Yep. Make that into a creature. Hold on to this. Again, if he's got another board wipe, we'll try to bait that. If we can beat Sultai game 1, another extinction event. Almost if his top deck was a demonic tutor. In an 80 card deck. Alright. See, I'm running a 60 card deck, and I got my first extinction event on turn what? Alright, so anyway. We're going to play with this baby at 6/6. Well, he can just Shadow's Verdict. And we're going to go ahead next. But it's really cool to see that we beat White Weenie 2-0, and we're pushing the Sultai. They're not killing us by turn 7. So we've suffered 3 board wipes. But not all is lost. It probably is, but you know what? I will board wipe your board wipe. The Battle of Extinctions. And, well, he's got that, so that's a lot better. They don't have a Jund ultimatum. They need to produce a Jund ultimatum. They got one for Sultai. They got one for Teamer. Jund needs an ultimatum. Yeah, we all know it's going to be alright. So, we can't give Volkai to him. So, we can only do the reasonable thing. He'll get a free turn. And then draw a bunch of cards. Ouch. You don't like playing control decks? Dark? Yeah. Well, people are going to be playing with white, like White Weenie is going, and Red Rush is going to be really, those are going to be like the decks, right? Because we saw the same thing with Wilderness Reclamation. Remember when Wilderness Reclamation took over the format, and you had to kill Wilderness Reclamation by what? Like turn 4? Turn 5? You have to you have to kill Sultai by turn 6. It's the same thing. It's like Wilderness Reclamation. If you look at Emergent Ultimatum, it's 2 Demonic Tutors and 2 Fires of Intervention in 1 turn. Because they're going to get 2 cards and free cast 2. And then we're just going to eliminate Extinction Event. And he's got that beautiful thing called a counterspell. Binding of the Gods. But yeah, Sultai hands down, #1 deck. It's right up there with Reclamation, and oh yeah, this doesn't go off because of vorinclex. Forgot about that. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we're gonna sit here and lose. So, what starts to get scary with these decks is when they start main boarding counterspells. Because we saw this with Wilderness Reclamation. Remember that? When they were all preparing to play each other. So they're expecting the mirror match. That's the scary part. That's when they start to main board counterspells and prepare for the mirror matches. That's when you have to worry. All right, we're gonna concede and not show him anything else, and just go into game 2. And he was like, "Yeah, good game, bro. I knew you were gonna die." All right, so we go with the sideboard here. All right, we got 4 Agonizing Remorses, 3 Duresses, Necromentia, Destiny Spinner. What do we go with? We'll get rid of the Extinction Events. Actually, Storm's Wrath. Let's do. Archon's still good here. Maybe not. Nissa. Probably get rid of her, be honest. They can't be countered. Whenever creature you control deals damage to a player, draw a card. Bring in 1 more Kroxa for more removal. So either these gotta go. Oh, 1 Cultivate's good and go. So look at all of our hand removal. Oh, Necromentia's got to come in for sure. So let's get rid of. We'll have 1 Archon. Let's go. Basically sideboarded half the deck. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just lead off with a basic first. Because these pathways, you don't know which way to go. It's probably going to be black, obviously. Let's see what he's got. Oh, I'll take that. Thank you. Even just to see their hand is just good. So then we can tear it apart. I don't know. We need one black. That's for sure. Oh no, we didn't get the black. We just got to keep on working on that hand. We just got to keep on just sizing that down. If we would have had black called Emergent Ultimatum, because let's face it, they sideboard so many counter spells and so much removal, they only have so much win conditions after that. So we can board this down. It's got indestructible, can't be countered, we can draw cards. I think that's going to be the move that we do. We'll draw a card. He'll lose cards, we gain cards. Right? It's going to be the whole thing. This deck is weird the way it's constructed, but it's weird. It's just, it's the meta. It's weird. It's gotten indestructible, so we'll slide up in there, take a damage, draw a card. Ooh, nice. Pluck his hand. Disdainful Stroke. I don't like Yorion. We'll pluck it out. I gotta get to his hand again. I gotta get a black here. Ah, no black mana. Alright, so we're gonna slide up in there and try to get a black mana here. Come on, black mana. No! We have the cards to, like, tear him apart. Unfortunately, the mana does not agree. Bring this out. I think we really could have won this game. Oh no! I think we really could have if we could have just necroed his hand. I don't think they could survive two necromancias. Shoot. We're gonna have to go fetch it. Black. I think we'll go. We could go green here. Bring down Death Toucher, mill. This is gonna be hard. But we got him down to 2 cards, completely tapped out. He's got indestructible. He has to attack every turn. Nah, Dark, you don't bring bad luck. It's the broken format that brings bad luck. I honestly, dude, I think I actually on Twitter I actually put on before the banning happened. I didn't think they were going to ban anything in standard or in historic. So I literally put that in a tweet to them. Then I thought, wait a minute, I'm sponsored by them, and then I just put them on blast. I'm like, that's probably not going to go over that well. All right, so let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we'll call Emergent Ultimatum. I didn't think about that before I did it. It's one of those, like, passionate things, you know? Wait, I called Necromentia. What? I meant Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, that was what a waste. Guys, that was the biggest misplay you're gonna see tonight. I called my own. Okay. That was bad. I meant to call Emergent Ultimatum. I called my own card. That was dumb. That was completely stupid. Because that changes everything. That changes, shoot. We're gonna die, but let me call the right card this time. I don't want to remove my own cards. I want to remove his. Okay. There we go. At least we have the pleasure of that. But just to give you an idea of what they do on their sideboard, no creatures, no Shark Typhoon. There's one Shark Typhoon, one Valki, two Valki, one vorinclex, two Shark Typhoons. See how their win conditions just go down? So if you can actually Necromentia them twice, he just counter this. Good game. Let's be honest, though. Even if I get that Necromentia off and I call the right card, he still wins. Like, that doesn't really change much. But, you know, it does help a little bit when you do something. This is our, like, death song. Actually, this is too depressing. Jeez. This feels like it's gotta gives us a chance, right? Okay. So I play these Triomes because on the new saga, where you can fetch for a forest, these are forests. This is like the fighter song, right? Oh, so we're getting... Hey, what's great about tonight, White Weenie, Red Rush, Sultai, now Blue-Red Control. We're getting all the net decks, all the top net decks tonight. So... So that's either the multiverse or See It Coming. It's counterspell or scry 2, draw 2. What's cool about this matchup, we don't care if things get countered because they have escape. So hopefully this is a better matchup. Alright, well, definitely need the mana. Disdainful Stroke. So that was a good one. Yep, so it's the multiverse, what I was talking about. That's actually a really, really good... For that to be a common, that's incredible. I think that's really good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a great card. It's like Glimmer of Genius. Alright. So he knows we struggled with mana. If I cast this, I would counter it if I was my opponent. But let's swing it. I'd counter it. If I saw my opponent... Oh, he didn't. Wow, okay. I would have. He or she is a better person than I am. I'm like, nope, you're down, I'm going to kick you. Or maybe they just didn't have it. Oh, look at Pokronos. My opponent's like, you know what? Okay, so what makes this utterly just insane, they can drop this down and then hide behind a counter spell. Because it poops out a treasure token that you can sack and add 2 mana. So they can tap out and then still hide behind a counter spell. That's what makes this deck good. So let's see here. We can do a lot. We can Extinction Event. We can Archon that. Yeah, I like the Dragon card too. It's really... It's good. I might want to snatch it. Let's just get rid of it. Unless he's got a negate. Again, they can always hide behind a counterspell. Disdainful Stroke. And that's what makes it so good. In this deck. In this deck. Yep. And, what did he see? We'll just play another one. We're gonna die. I just want to see what he's playing with. We're not gonna cast anything else. I just want to see what. So it's just the typical counterspell. But yeah. So we're just gonna chill and see what else is going. Okay. Any more intel we can get. He's like, no, screw you, dog. I'm just gonna kill you. All right. So again, we're gonna have to get him at the hand, right? I feel like we're going to have a similar lineup than what we did. I think our wipes have a little bit more value here in this matchup than it did versus Sultai one. So let me just do this first. We just want to just go after his hand. Necromantia, no, not in this one. I don't think we do that. So we have choices. We can do Destiny Spinner, where they can't counter creature enchantment spells, which is important if you're going to play with Archon War or Binding of the Gods, and just with creatures in general. Poor Nissa. Alright, so I guess this sets up for 4 extinction events to go. Or Binding of the Gods in 2 events. We're going to do that. Here we go. Lock and load. Jund control. May the shuffler gods be with us. Alright. We do have 25 land. And then indirectly we have 27 because of this little beezer. So again, I always like to drop my basics first in a deck like this. We're going to roll this out already. Because we know he's going to counter a lot of stuff, so we want to already set our graveyard to escape Kroxas and stuff like that. Pokronos. Okay. What you got up in there? Ooh. Yep. So he's got a nice opening hand. He or she. Let's try to tear it apart as best as we can. Fundamentally, it's the only thing that you can do, unless you just play the decks that you play the same deck. This is about, I think, what you could do. And if you play versus rogues, you have a natural... It's just, if they mill you, you already have a natural sideboard. Like, your sideboard is actually in the main board, kind of. Ooh, duress. Okay, so... Yeah, we have to keep on going to Pound Town on that hand there. I want to see every card, every turn. Okay. There you go. Poor little guy. If I bring him out, he's just going to get killed. We're just going to sacrifice a creature card to draw a card. He's going to just shoot. He's going to use the Bone Crusher anyway. So if I brought him out... Okay, he's not. Okay. Poor guy. Draw a card. Ooh, more hand removal. Okay. So we have red, black, black. Okay, so we have double red. If we bring down Kroxa, he's just going to... Yeah. He's just going to return it. I'll bring him out. Just in case we top deck a Valki. And there's no point in using this because he's got nothing that we can take. So the beating continues. Well, let's okay, it's not tapping me out good. So what we want to do is tap him for green. Cuz the way they would have tapped me out. Oops. Oh, that's right. I don't have a double black. Shoot. All right. Let's bring him out. He's going to brazen borrow it back to my hand, but we got to get it over with, right? We just got to get it over with. Heck yeah, I'm going to attack with a 1/1. Take one. Come on, Tangled. Yeah, so we just had to get that over with, guys. It's just... I wish I could have plucked it from his hand, but I couldn't. And then, yep. Double bash. Let's drop it. Pop a squat. Oh, he had another dragon. This dude's like dragon Start City. All right. He can just kill us. So let's see. Do we have a chance? No, we don't. Is there anything in my deck? Not really. Yeah, so he got lucky with the dragons a little bit, but it's a mental note probably not to take out all the board wipes versus this deck. So sometimes losses aren't that bad, and you just have to go, okay, well, next time you play that match, don't take out all removal. See, the deck I was trying to set up, I try to do a death touch deck that this thing, you know, with this, whenever a creature you control with death touch deals damage to a player, they get poison counters. Well, there's this creature that has all your creatures have death touch. And then whenever a creature you control deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. So I'm thinking, okay, this is great. You can have vorinclex, you know, that whole combo, double the poison counters. You could have all of your creatures have poison counters. You can still do the Great Henge thing, and And it's got 27 creatures, so you're thinking on paper, okay, this looks decent. But then you play it, and then you realize that standard, this is not good enough. It's not fast enough. So that was like the idea of concept. Yeah, so another Yorion, okay. Can I take this hand? I'll keep it. I'll throw this down first. So yeah, we're kind of to Zendikar standard again, kind of thing, where there's only like 5 decks. Remember when it was like Rogues, Grow Aggro, Teamer, Dimir Control. Now we're back. We're at White Weenie, Sultai, Rogues, Blue-Red Control. So basically, we're at that. Alright, so let's just drop this. We do need mana. Let me just see his hand, though. So he's got Wilt, Heartless Act. Can we get a mana? Dang it. Okay. I'll drop it, yeah. He can just destroy it. So what he's doing is he's electing to play with, I like this, Migration Path. If it'll let me zoom right there. Search for up to 2 basic lands. So it allows you to get to your Emergent ultimatum faster. And for the love of gosh. Alright. Yep. That's what I run in my Sultai too. And we're not getting mana. And we were never destined to get mana. Alright. So all they need is 1 card. He pops down a land. If he gets the Emergent ultimatum, game's over. That's why you're seeing faster decks. That's why you're seeing White Weenie, because you have to kill them pretty quickly. This would be like a good demonstration video on that part. I don't know. What is he harboring, like a shark typhoon? Yep, that's exactly what he has. Doesn't even have enough respect to kill Volkai. Volkai as a creature gets no respect whatsoever. Alright, we get a mana, but it comes into play tapped. What is the odds that we hard cast this? Let's be real. For the cosmic imposter, the odds are really low. So let's just see what he has in his hand. Oh yeah, he has death. It's nice to know though. I don't know. He can take an extra turn. Yeah, that's what I would do. Take the extra turn. Then just hard cast the Emergent ultimatum. Demonic tutor 2 cards. Free cast 2 cards. And so I'll just show you the power of the deck, right? So let's just pick it. We'll just put that in. I just want to show you. So he's gonna hit that and just watch. So he can exile all cards from see. So he can play with all the cards from a graveyard. See. That's why on the banning and restricted announcement, I gave them a D. They didn't even... for not touching standard. Alright. So we'll just do the GG. Alright, so I'm going to give it my best shot. What do you think, guys? Anything different? Maybe make a cut there. I have to cut 3 more cards. Did we cut a Volkai? Their sideboard likes they do board in that serpent creature. We go Destiny Spinner. I'm gonna go with this board. All right, helpful miner. Hopefully you can be helpful to give us the archetype to beat the deck. This would be a really good hand if we had black mana, so Unfortunately, that looks better. We'll just go with this. Alright, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, so we're going to start off with duress. And here we go. I'm not going to get rid of an emergent ultimatum because hopefully I can necromentia that. So... if we get a black mana and we don't, all right. I still have hope that we can get the necromentia. I still have hope. I still have hope that we can get double black. And my hope is dwindling. Okay, so we slow down his ramp a little bit. He's gonna bring you. All right, so we just need a black mana. Can we? Yes, 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 yes. Not even wasting time. I don't even care. Oh, and he drew. Oh yeah, he had one in his hand the whole time. I forgot about that. Opponent's library. Bam, bam, bam. So he's got one Volkai, one Kiora. One Shark Typhoon, two Shark Typhoons, two Volkais, Vorinclex. Not too many win conditions. If you can get rid of their stuff. That's a good sign that they need to ban Emergent Ultimatum. Because then they actually have to play with cards that can win. Besides just playing like one of that, one of this. Yep. So Heartless Act can't kill Pokronos because he comes in with +1/+1 counters. But he can take 3 off. He's gonna eat the 6. Okay. Bring this out. Little death toucher. I feel like we're so close. We're just... if we get mana... we have to understand, we've missed several land drops here. If we just get a red, we can bring out Kroxa. And just take his hand. Dun dun dun. Well, that sucked. We get a green. And he can flip this thing. So, Q. Well, no, so he can just pay 3, flip this. God, that was such a good Volkai. That was really good. All right. Because even if I fight this, he can just flip it over. He'll get a 6/6, and then he can just take 3 counters off my my guy, and then he dies. Let's just try to do it now. Let's let him use the Heartless Act. Let's just get it over with. Yep. Boy, we didn't get a land. The turning point was when he was able to get this guy off us. See, he can just pay 3, flip him. Or it's just going to take the damage. Okay. So we don't have the answer to Sultai. Unless there's a better way I can sideboard. This is just something goofy that I did. Yeah, Emergent Ultimatum's a really, or excuse me, Sultai's a really tough deck. Like Wings a Rotator Cuff. Yeah, we got counter spells, we got draw abilities. So yeah, it can have a chance for a Sultai. Mid-cast. You have Dreadnought. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. It's a problem when you don't play versus Sultai. So we're getting to a point Sultai is really just like Wilderness Reclamation was when it was in the format. Because there's so many black removal spells. There's Extinction Events, Shadow's Verdicts. so much cheap removal with Heartless Axe, Eliminates, Bloodchief Thirsts. It just allows them just to sit back and then. All right, so what if we just run? Let's just see how it. What if we jog this out? Let it go for a walk. Wings of Rotator Cuff. All right, sneaky. All right, so this is Skycast Sovereign. He gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with flying. This is Watcher of the Spheres. Flyers cost 1 less. The non-creature spells with 4 greater cost 2 more. So we're seeing the same decks. Let's bring out this 2/3 here. Let's go ahead and tackle that bad boy. Because we all know that he's probably going to want to cast that dragon. So. Hide behind. Could it be another Saw It Coming? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So one of these got to be a Saw It Coming, right? Let's try to force a counterspell out. There we go. Slide up in there for 2. Now, could this deck handle white weenie? Probably not that well. Drop another Skycat. And if he counters it, that's okay. It's fine. Okay, to Brazen Borrower. He's eventually going to have to do something. He's going to have to tap somewhere. Or not. Drop another Skycat. Come on. It's like death to 1,000 paper cuts. Yep, let him have that. Kill my Skycat. Come on, tap out. Okay. We can produce 2 of these, 2 4/4s. I say we just go for it. Oops. Try to counter it. Two back-to-back solid Cummings. Yeah, and so now he's probably gonna drop the dragon. Yep. Yeah, it's so hard. Forget what this does. Foretell cards cost 1 less. And can be done on... Okay. Yeah. So it looks like they're gonna have this one too. Teamer Venture with the dragon? I don't see why not. You know, it's I just think that the decks that are currently in circulation are just too good. I don't know how many counterspells that deck plays with that we just played against, but it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, it would be. Yeah. All right, so we can take out Skyclave Apparition. That would actually slow them down. Our opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Put in mid cast. Maybe do that. I don't know if Haloid Suncrown's really going to see... Take out one Haloid. Take out these two. Board and Mystical Disputes. I just don't know if I can out-counter them. We'll find out on the next episode. Can you do standard? I mean, at least spells that they cost 2 more to cast that target our flyers. Come on. Now we're on Wings of Rotator. Costs 1 less to cast. Probably die. Bone Crusher Giant. Usually. Yep. But spells cost 2 more to target. So he's got to pay 2 more. Then we can put this on him. Draw a card, and he gets lifelink. Fly, birdie, fly. So you have to pay 4, and he's a 3/3. We deal damage, draw a card. He's got lifelink. I think we're gonna win this chase here. Now he's gonna have to pay 4 to target our creatures. See if we can get it done. We know our John deck's good versus White Weenie, but it failed versus Sultai. Nice land card from Kaldheim. And if the music's too loud, let me know. Alright, so we got this right here. Let's just attack them. Oh, okay. On my end, it's just like boom, 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 boom. I'm going to counter that. Will the Flyers stay alive? Will they make it through? Nobody knows. Only our opponent. On the next episode of... I should just call this Can You Do Standard? The same 5 decks. As the blue-red deck turns. That would be a drama show. I think my grandma would watch that in the nursing home. All right. Gets that down. Behold the universe. No, I just remember my parents, they used to watch, or not my parents. What was those, they were called soap operas, I guess. I just remember, like, growing up and those be on the TV. I forget what they were called, like the Bold, what was it, Bold and Beautiful, As the World, like stuff like that. I don't know. All right, we'll take it. Okay, we're having a moment here. 4/3 Bone Crusher. All right. I was like, does he put Embercleave in this deck? That'd be crazy. See, what we're doing is we're pretending like we have a counterspell. We don't. But we're pretending to. Remember, if he wants to single target anything, it's going to cost 4 to do it. So he's going to have to pretty much tap out. It's going to be 4 more in additional to whatever spell. So if he wants to, like, petty theft the creature, he's going to pay 6. All right. Dun, 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 dun. It's 3, 5, 8. That would be lethal. Because this would get +1/+1. So let's see what he's got. Shark Typhoon, not good enough. We're just going to return it. I still wonder if this would be a good play. How many counter spells do we have? We have 2, 6, 7, 9, 12. Plus, we're making them pay more to target our creatures, while still maintaining 19 creatures. I think that's good. So we're gonna mulligan. Oh, we need a white mana. Yeah. So I have 4 pathways in here and 2 of the temples, so... And we have equal mana distribution, so I try to avoid these. But sometimes they happen. We're going to have to keep it. So we do need a white mana. Whether it lives or not, I have no clue. But he has the advantage of going first, so we're going to have to eventually open. Even though we have counter spells. And they always have Bone Crusher. Okay, at least it wasn't Bone Crusher. Okay, so we can drop him down, then have mid cast to cover him up. I can't believe we're fighting over a 1/1. The 1/1 means everything. We're fighting over a 1/1 creature. We literally just wasted over a Sky Cat. All right, he's staring at that thing pretty good. How many cards went into the Sky Cat? You know what? I'm just going to drop a 4/4. It's hard because we did not go first. Ooh. We'll put Staggering Insight, so when it deals damage, draw a card and gets lifelink. He's going to negate that. I'm going to Lofty Denial his negate. He's got 1 luck card left. Shard Typhoon. So it's a 5/5 Flying Vigilance lifelink. It's basically almost a Baneslayer Angel. Pretty much. That's always nice. Alright, so we're going to drop that down. Ooh. That is not good. For our opponent. Actually, we can keep 2 Lofty Denials in our hand. We can just finish him next turn. try to. Okay. So that is Wings of Rotator Cuff. That is the deck. Yeah, actually, I was in the gym and we're talking about bench press and protecting the shoulder. I was talking to somebody about it. And for some odd reason, it got me thinking about flying creatures. True story. I come home, boot up MTG Arena, and make the deck. Because I said, how can you cut off Sultai with counter spells, but still be good enough, you know, cutting Wings of Rotator? I don't know. Anyway, so we know Jun is beating White Weenie, but Sultai's played. So let's give Rotator. Let's see if we can go for it. It's funny how a gym conversation turns into a deck. No, that's too loud. No mana. Alright, we'll keep. Brazen Bar always gets the... is it gonna be Sultai again? Alright, here we go. Enchanted thing gets double strike? Yeah, Sultai. Confirmed. So all of our flyers cost 1 less. Whenever a flyer enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+1. Hopefully it doesn't die. All right. He's not playing with the pathways. He's playing with the maybe he doesn't have the wild cards. So he's got the deck. He just doesn't have the lands. That's what it looks like to me. So everything that targets our creatures with flying costs 2 more. Let's see something for a second. Okay. Does that do something really quick? Okay, so we got this guy. Do we go for broke here and try to get an equipment? Or we just bang him out with flyers? Let's try to get him out with flyers. So Ooh, Shark Typhoon. That's a good one. Nice. Sultai just does everything you want it to do. Kill, draw, free cast. I wonder how Rogues does versus Sultai. Because you would really think a deck that can maybe That's a lot of lands. Nope. Lonely little bird. Or cat. But I wonder if Rogues would give them... We're not seeing Rogues. You would think Rogues would kind of be able to give them for a run for their money, because Rogues kind of wins this. Well, if they don't have the free casting, but they kind of win the same. They kill, counter, draw. Instead of free casting, they just mill. Uh-oh, he's got 7. He's going to get an extra turn. Oh, that's going to... Make a 1/1. I think this is a GG here. Yep. So that shuts down the ultimatum. But what did I... Okay. Skyclave Apparition can go. Okay, my last board I think was this, right? I boarded in 2 of those. 1, 2. Yep. What did I say? I had 12 counter spells versus red blue. 6, 7, 10, 12. Okay, so that's like our board counter board. Okay. They are sideboarding. We took a while. JoJo. You guys ever have JoJo fries? They're like big potato slash French fries. Nobody really makes those anymore. Oh, haven't heard of it? Yeah, they're called JoJo fries. And this is called a not so good opening hand. Maybe it could develop into one. I'll keep it. Yeah, JoJo fries are like they taste better than a tater tot, but they taste better than a French fry, but they're not as dull as a potato. How can I describe it? Yeah, it's just a French fry like potato. I mean, they don't really... I'll just drop this. They don't really bring any threats turn 3. Trying to psych out our opponent, play with green sleeves, or blue-white deck. Only if we could be like the pros and I could fix the top card that's coming. In the sleeve. Yeah, it's like a wedge kind of thing. It's not as greasy as a wedge, like from BW3s. We're just gonna counter that because this is just a pseudo duress. But yeah, the closest thing is like a wedge. If you grabbed a wedge and took out like the greasy stuff and made it slightly bigger, then you would have that. Come on, Brazen Borrower. He survives. Okay, so this is where he's open. So we could put this on this, staggering insight, draw a card, or we could drop 2 4/4 flyers. But if he's running extinction events, it'd be a poor choice. Let's go with the high risk, poor choice. I've made plenty of those in my life. I'm joking, of course. But I think everybody has to some degree. Like that. Dang it. Darn it. I need that Tom Brady luck. Tom Brady at 43 can be the father of his wide receivers. Well, the rookie ones. All right. That's out of our range. Womp, womp, womp. Why not? Yeah, the wedge from BW3s. I don't know what it is. They're so greasy. Every time I have them, I'm like, I think it's a smart choice. Then I'll eat it, and I just like get sick. I feel sick. And it could be the pop thing. I one time I challenged my friend to a pop challenge. I said, if you don't drink pop, for like 6 months, and you go ahead and drink soda, some people call it pop or soda, but you go ahead and you drink soda you don't drink it for 6 months, and then drink a dark soda, and you literally feel it's out of mystical dispute range again. Boo. But if you go do that, you'll realize like how taxing soda is. You can literally grab dark soda and grab paint, and if you could actually like pour it on some, like you can actually grab some soda and pour it on some paint, and the paint can actually come off. And we put that in our bodies. And that's within our range. We can counter that. Yay. Our lonely little bird. Oh, he's got two birds. Got two. Come on, little birds. That's just a good saga card. It just does a lot. Destroy target permanent, search your library for force card. And speaking of that, okay, so how's he getting so many in an 80 card deck? Okay. Cute. And like I said, you could search for forests. Your triomes, because they're technically forests. So that's why you can fetch. They need to reprint Shifting Ceratops. Just reprint it. I don't know. I'm just gonna counter it. There's no sense of doing that whole thing because he'll know we have a counter spell. You can't Fable passive for the Triomes because this is basic land. That's about it. All right. And there she is. Saw that coming. Okay. Can we have a flying bird take us to victory? I doubt it. Oh, we can still fly over that for one turn. Dang it. Pretend like we have a counter spell when we don't. Well, that's just nasty. Good game. You might as well take our mana. So the one common problem is Sultai. That's it. I mean, I have the deck. I just call it Salt. Where's it at? Right here. This is the Orion. This is what it is. Now it's readjusted since, like, they're not going to run an Ugin, they're going to run more counter spells on the sideboard. But essentially that's what it is. You see how much black removal there is? It's just so much. Shadow's Verdict, Extinction Events, cheap removal. Stack Volkai on top of that. It's just so much removal for one color in 6 sets in Standard. Really too much. Yeah, that's what makes it. I don't think people understand how devastating the deck is. Because look at all that black removal. You know, that's a board wipe. That's a board wipe. And then you have so many little board wipes or kill spells, and then you have Volkai, and that's just one color. You know. What cards in the historic bundles? Anything that doesn't hurt historic worse than it already is. I like historic deck diversity, but I don't like its unstable power level. That's where Modern's really good, because you have deck diversity, and there are powerful decks, but you have an equilibrium of power. Historic. I guess I would like to see, I don't know. It's sad to say, but Liliana of the Last Hope would be decent. But with Tybalt's Trickery, Muxus, Neoform can kill you turn 3. Because realistically in Historic, I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick when we get back to the gameplay. What they could do. Actually, let me just grab a Historic deck. Just grab this. So what the decks do is they'll grab Neoform. Now on the surface, Neoform is there a deck that's weak that I want to have support? You know, I don't know. There's so many combo decks in Historic. It's really hard for the to be like a theme. Like elves are really solid. Goblins are, you know, a tier 1 deck. So it's kind of I had a lot of hope for Historic, and now it's kind of fallen into that Pioneer type of category, I think, with a lot of players. That's a tough question. I don't know. There'd have to be like other themes they'd have to introduce, like other decks that they would have to spawn out, I guess. I mean, in the Eldritch Moon era, which I know they're not doing that, but if they were to go back to that gameplay, you had like Thought Knot, which was a forecasting cost Eldrazi that could take something from your hand. Thought Knot Seer, I think it was. Now, with this Neoform, as additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature. So if the creature costs 2, you can sacrifice it and search your deck for something that costs 3 or less. If the creature costs 3, you can search for something for 4 or less. Now, on the surface, it doesn't look that bad. But you have a Paradise Druid, which has hexproof, or any creature that has hexproof, and then you kill. Then you use that spell, right? So then what they do is you have these mages. Dual caster mage. Probably easier if I just typed it in. Okay. Oh, that's right. I don't own them. Okay. So whenever this enters the battlefield, copy target instant or sorcery spell. So all they do is just keep on copying it. They'll copy Neoform, and then they'll get other creatures out, like the new card from that wasn't released. It's called, was it Seagate? This guy right here, Seagate Stormcaller. When it enters the battlefield, you can copy an instant or sorcery spell with 2 or less. So they just keep on copying creatures, and then there's a creature that gives all creatures haste, and then they just attack you and just kill you. No, so you would have Neoform would kill like a Paradise Druid. It'd still be floating on the stack. Dualcaster comes in, clones it. Because they still have to sack and fetch for the creature for the spell to resolve. You have to go through all the steps of the card. And then it's like bam, 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 bam. And it's game over. So you can't even have a kill spell, because they could just have a Paradise Druid. So any single time you see somebody mulligan, like it's like Tibalt trickery decks. Any single time you see a person mulligan down multiple times, they're doing one or two decks: Tibalt trickery or Neoform, and that's historic. And if you're not playing against that, you're playing against goblins with Muxus. Goblins without Muxus is already good, but so with Muxus, what they do is basically the whole text says you look at the top 6 cards of your library and put goblins that are 5 or less onto the battlefield, which translates put all your goblins that you draw off the top 6 onto the battlefield. And then they have Skirt Prospector, or you can sacrifice a goblin, add a red. If you don't get that combo, don't worry about it. You can fetch for it. They brought a card in from Modern Horizons, that's what's hurting Historic. They keep on bringing cards in from Modern, and Historic does not have the power equilibrium that Modern has. So it's kind of like a little weird, but it's Goblin. This guy. Search your library for a Goblin card. So they're going to get to the combo either way. It doesn't matter. And if turn 4, they're going to get it. It's just, unless they're really unlucky. So either way, they're going to get it. So it's just, Historic is just basically becoming a benign combo format at this point. Because you have Neoform, Tibalt, Goblins. Elves are just good. Sultai still good in his Historic. Anyway. So that's the thing. To answer your question, maybe Eldrazi. The problem is you bring in Eldrazi cards, then that becomes the new busted thing. Is Gruul still good in Historic? It's still good. It's still good in Historic, but it's got to hit. I mean, it's got to fire. You can't really afford to go, oh, I missed a land drop. Oh, because Neoform will kill you by turn 3. I mean, it literally, there's nothing you can stop it. If they have, like Tibalt Trickery, if you're not playing a counterspell deck, it will kill you. Like, you have to, but yeah, overall, it's still good. I don't see Neoform a lot, but when you see it, it's just broke as crap. It's like Tibalt Trickery. It's not something like, it's just like people will play the best of one. And this is just simply just a matter of fact. If you have a deck that has a 51% win rate, just 51%, you can play about 500 matches and just go, I'm going to play with Tibalt Trickery, play a match, and within 30 seconds, if I don't get Tibalt Trickery after I mulligan, I quit on the next match. I got Tibalt Trickery. I'm going to play and kill my opponent in about 1 minute. I'm going to kill them in 1 minute. Next match, I'm going to kill my opponent in a minute. Next match, oops, I didn't get it, I quit. And you just do that. You just keep on doing that. And so it's very bad gameplay to be on the... It's just very... It leads to people... It's just who wants to play Magic like that? So now that's the best of one. The best of 3, you're not going to really see too many Tibalt Trickery decks because you can't get that lucky that often. But Yeah, Neoform, you have to play a counterspell deck to stop it. If it hits. And if you're playing a counterspell deck, you ain't gonna live versus elves, you ain't gonna live versus goblins, you're not gonna live versus probably Gruul either. So the answers to those decks are decks that would lose to the meta. And so it's kind of rough. Now, Sultai with Tail's End and counterspells can stop the Neoform and has a shot versus goblins. And I think Sultai can control Gruul pretty good. And so yeah, that's why you see people playing Sultai. So what could be... We can take Jund for another spin. I would think that... I'm so surprised we're not seeing rogues. Because for standard, you think rogues would be able to deal with Sultai. Because they... I wonder what that match would be like. He probably thinks we're playing Sultai. We're not. We're playing Jund. Okay, so blue-red. So the same decks. Seeing the same type of decks. Okay. Playing the blue-red deck. Blue-red with the dragons and counterspells. No, I was wrong. He's playing with Grixis? We saw that for a few days after Kaldheim. He's playing Grixis. All right. Let's see what we can do. Try to slide up in there for 2. Yeah. The keyword is try. Drop another one of these guys down. Now there is a risk. You know, we put mana in here. When you self-mill, there's a risk. Got Nissa, but he's probably sitting on counter spells. Let's be honest. Let's try it. Alright, that got through. We can't afford to have a land die. It does have menace. That's another Shark Typhoon for 1. And eliminate for another. Okay, so that was very costly. Our poor little lands. Pokronos Unchained. I don't think we can afford to have any lands die. I can bring a creature back. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. It comes back with 2+1, 2 more counters. We finally found a purpose for Nissa. Shortly lived, but she has a purpose.
I take responsibility for this loss.
He bring out Kroxa. Ah, boy. See, if I bring up my Kroxa, he brings out his Kroxa, Extinction Events. He could have just a counter spell, though. Or a kill spell. It's kind of like we're playing the same deck, just one's different. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. All right, Dark. Have a good one, man. Encounter spell. Let's see if we can get rid of Extinction. Will it go through? Well, if he doesn't have a counter spell, he's gonna know that we're gonna cast Kroxa. So, you know, let's find out. Let's cast this Kroxa. What do you have in your hand? Yeah, don't doubt Kroxas. Ooh. All right. Ooh, he's gonna take a beating. This cast is put stuff in our graveyard and open up our mana base. Thin out our deck. He pulled it off. Oh, but then we pull it off. This is... Ooh. Okay, so we got another Kroxa. Let's just exile top card. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, Tybalt. Yeah, so funny. The Graces deck and our deck wins kind of in the same. We win kind of the same way, just different. Okay, so we're gonna board in duresses, agnozing remorses. Two of these, one more Kroxa. Okay. So I have to get rid of 4. I get rid of a cultivate. Get rid of the events. And get rid of one of these. I think we're golden. I think we're good. We'll keep it. Let me check on something really quickly. We'll lead off with that. This can't be countered. If the music is too loud, let me know. Alright, so we mill. We'll create that to a 2/2. Believe it or not, this deck has 17 creatures, but it also can indirectly get more. Alright. Ooh, do we make it 2/2 creature? I think we drop him down. Whenever a creature deals damage, we draw a card, and this cannot be countered. So I think that's a pretty solid card. So they're going to lose cards, and we're drawing cards. That's the key. Duress, no use. These are all good cards to have. I really can't deny any of these, really. Actually, yeah, I needed red. So we actually should have denied. Alright, cancel. Let's see what they got up in there. Ooh. Get rid of the Shark Typhoon. We can draw a bunch of cards here. He's gonna kill one of them. No? Look at that, we draw 3 cards. All right. Let's bring it down to 6/6. Death Toucher. It'll probably kill it. Okay, so that play, he's desperate at this point. He used Clean the Dust to draw a card. Typically, you would try to clean to dust a. What, did he clean the dust that? Yeah, that's what he did. We'll get rid of that and land. It's more probable than not he's going to kill it, but We're gonna go ahead and cultivate. So we can get a red source. Red. And then we're just going to attack. I don't see how they're going to come back from this. That's a 1. Okay. It starts to become a little more clear. Kroxa. Yeah. Doesn't it sound like a Griss's control, Jun control song? Oh, we got Valki. Just hard cast them. That's what we can do in our deck. What we could do. And then attack and draw cards. Whenever creature deals damage, draw a card. We got so many cards, we gotta discard one. We'll discard a land. He's got to get a land in Extinction Event. Okay, there's the land. We're just kind of making Grissus look silly at this point. If we drop this Kroxa, the only thing is he'll get it. I'm drawing so many cards. This is ridiculous. Alright, we gotta do something here. Throw that down. We'll end our turn. We'll discard 2 cards. We can just get that back. Or actually, he's got that. Yeah, I don't see how they coming back from this one. Take the top off. We get negate, agnozing, remorse. Okay. Pretty good game. All right, well, you know, that's probably going to do it for tonight. You know, again, thank you for watching on YouTube or Twitch. Even not a subscriber or a follower. Decks that we tested out, we beat White Weenie, which is becoming a #1 deck with Jund control, which you saw in the last match, which handles Grixis control. And then we played with Wings of Rotator Cuff, and came up with the deck idea because I was in the gym, and we're talking about guys on the bench press not going the shoulders back and down and messing up their. I'm not gonna get through it. That are super spinatus, that are things in their shoulder and the rotators. Says, I wonder how we can stop Sultai. Sultai still seems to be a problem. But this deck, don't sleep on Kroxa. We saw this take White Weenie and Grixis and challenge some other decks. With that being said, feel free to subscribe and also follow. Get ready for more action. Anyway, guys, also, too, there's a guy called the Magic Historian. Came across him not too long ago, dealing with some things in the Magic Gathering community. If you want to go check out him as well, I recommend that. We have different personalities, I believe. Different things, but I'd recommend also go checking him out as well. So, again, no relation, don't even know him. But anyway, until next time, Jund Control gets that good rating.